Midnight Sun here, and today we're going to be doing Challenge Rift 422, or 422. We're going to be starting with the North American version, and we're going to go over to the Soul Mirror just to get a look at what we've got going with us. We have Nair's Black Death, which is going to enhance all the poison skills we use. Now, all the poison skills are the Bone Armor, the Corpse Explosion, the Bone Spear, and our Grim Scythe. So using each of those is going to boost the damage of our skills. We have some curse bonuses with some of these other items here, and then Land of the Dead is a great crowd control skill. And our Corpse Explosion is going to be the kind of primary source of damage for us here. So everything else is going to be a Legacy of Dreams contributing item here. There's not too much going on other than the Frost Gloves, which should help us out when we use that cold control skill. So basically, we're going to activate each of our skills here, go over to the enemies, and hit Corpse Explosion for each of these things. Now, there's probably some other stuff you can do to absolutely maximize the time, but if you're just wondering on how to best efficiently use this, activate that AoE, freezing enemies, and then hitting our Corpse Explosion around them. So save those for the elites. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, there's going to be a speed pylon over here, so we're going to get that. And then there's two sets of elites here. This is where we're going to freeze both of them as best as we can after activating our poison abilities and then corpse exploding everybody up over here to gather them all up and get a good start to our run here. Now, we're going to be bypassing most of these smaller enemies because they just don't contribute a lot to our time. Occasionally shooting Bone Spear forward to keep our bonuses up and making sure that we're doing some damage. Use your dislocation on the elites here. Hit them a couple times with either your Bone Spear, which is preferred, or your Grim Scythe. And I'm just snagging a few of these along as well for some extra boost at the end here. We have another set of elites here. Hit dislocation on them, shoot a Bone Spear at them, and then try and corpse explode the rest. As soon as you get one corpse, you're pretty much good to go. So that's going to be the entire focus of our build here. Another set of elites here. Hit them with dislocation, gather them up a little bit, hit them with a couple Bone Spears, and then start corpse exploding as soon as you get a corpse here. Watch out for the explosions. I've made a couple mistakes in previous runs, just getting a little too close to them. It is pretty hard to die here, but you can do it if you get a lot of enemies around you. Get this power pylon, and then we're going to be kind of moving through this area, occasionally tapping Corpse Explosion. This one is a close quarters Corpse Explosion, which means the enemies have to be kind of near you to do some damage. So we're going to try and just carry it along, killing a couple of them as we go, and kind of just siphoning it over to the next set of enemies each time. So we've got our one little elite here. We're just going to tag along with us. If he wants to follow us, he can follow us. If not, no big deal. We've already got the orbs from there. And a lot of the times, it's just going to be about getting, again, that one corpse and exploding as you walk forward. So that's going to be the best way to move through this tiny area here. There's not too many elites, and there's not too many pylons that you can get here as well. This is a tight area, and there's a lot of fire and explosions here, so be careful. I made a little bit of a mistake here and teleported right into the explosion because I thought it was going to go a little earlier. But you see, our build even tanked that, so there's not too much worry about dying early on here. So be a little confident in your character. And then we have our pylon, and since we don't have a flavor of time, this expires pretty soon. So we're just going to be using it to kind of carry along a little bit of the damage and just moving forward into this next group of enemies over here. Now in this area, if you can, I'd highly recommend exploding everything along the way, because if you can get the Rift Guardian to spawn in this area, it seems to work a little bit better, but that requires killing a good amount of enemies before coming here. So in your first run, if you feel you're a little light on enemies, maybe spend a few more seconds gathering up a group or corpse exploding a little bit more along the way. You see I'm just walking through here, occasionally throwing Bone Spear or hitting them with the scythe when they're close, and then exploding while moving forward. And there's going to be a couple more elite sets here that are going to carry the rest of our percentage for the rest of this build here. So we're almost to the first set. There they are. And we're going to, again, try and gather up some of these enemies. There's a lot more here. As soon as we get one corpse, all of these guys are going to die. So we're going to hit him with the Corpse Explosion. I wanted to save my freeze skill over here, but I accidentally pushed the button and activated it a little bit early. I would have liked to have used that later on. So if you don't make that same mistake as I did, then it should go a little bit better for you. And again, we're going to be tapping Corpse Explosion along the way. Now this set of elites, bring them down a little bit farther because there's another set you can combine them with. And as soon as you get one set of corpse here, everything is just gone and dead, and you've got all of the elites there. So we're going to gather up all these orbs, which is going to give us most of the progress. Again, I would have liked to have spawned it here, so that way I could get some of those corpses for the Rift Guardian to save a little bit of time. But we're just going to go in this next room and move our way up, and we should have plenty of enemies here to get it. Now, also, there's usually a mechanic where the Rift Guardian teleports to you if you're a certain distance away or he's a little bit more aggressive. So I wanted him to come over to this big pile of corpses here, and I'm trying to teleport him there down to this pile of corpses, but for whatever reason, he just did not want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and move towards him. There's almost no chance of him killing you. You can stand right next to him, and you're just basically spamming your Grim Sight ability and your Bone Spear ability over and over again, and he'll die in the next few seconds there. So there we have it, in 4 minutes and 37 seconds. I don't think I'm anywhere close to the top of the leaderboard here this time. There's probably some more I could do if I spent a lot of time looking at it, but I was out of the house a lot of the day today, so I didn't get a time to play around with this that much. But that'll at least get you a decent time there. So there we have our kind of score going towards the bottom there on rank 37, so not too bad. And then we're going to move our way on to the EU. So this is going to be the EU version. This is probably one of my favorite sets as well to do. And it makes it so much easier and less hassle. So we're going to go ahead and load in and take a look at it with the Soul Mirror here. Kind of a similar layout, but we're going to be dealing with a set this time, and it's the Tragoul set. And that's basically going to do all of the damage that we need to do, and it even gives us the Funerary Pick, which is going to allow our Siphon Blood to do a little bit more damage, as well as the Iron Rose. So as long as we have those two things in that set, I mean, even in the regular game, if you have those two things, you can do Greater Rift 90s. And we've got a few other, extra items that make the build play a little bit nicer, including a cheat death on the passive down there. But there's not too much here that's going to be really contributing anything except for the Death Nova, which is going to be cast with the Iron Rose there. So not too much to pay attention to here. So our kind of style is going to be walking over the enemies. We're going to hit them from a distance if they're too far away, hit them with some bone armor, and then we're just going to hold down our Siphon Blood ability, which is going to cast the free Death Nova and deal area damage. So with that being said, this first area here is really big, and it can kind of suck you in to fighting all of the enemies, which we don't really need to do. So we're going to activate our bone armor to get some defenses, and then hold down Siphon Blood. And moving towards the bottom of the map, kind of following this curve, we're going to run into our first set of elites. Again, all you got to do is hold down that Siphon Blood, run around, grab your orbs, and then kind of make your way forward. When there's a little bit of an enemies collected around you, you're going to hit that Siphon Blood and kill them. They should die in a few seconds. So we're just kind of moving around and kind of lightly tapping Siphon Blood. There's almost no chance they're going to kill us here whatsoever. And then once we hit that kind of middle point, we're going to make our way straight up the middle here to run into some more elites, as well as kind of gather in some of these enemies. So just teleport to them, hit Siphon Blood around them, and then there's going to be another set of blue elites here. And I can never tell which one of these is the one that drops the orbs, so I'm just killing them all here and making my way up towards the next blue set of elites. After they drop their orbs, we're going to make our way up the middle of the map again, kind of towards the right here, because we're going to run into another set of elites right over here, and gathering them with the season bonus is going to make that a little bit faster. Teleport out of those explosions. And then we're going to keep making our way up to the top, curving down now, where we're going to run into yet another set of elites over here on the left side of the screen. So we're going to make our way over until we find them there. And they feared us for a second, but we're going to wipe them out in a few seconds, holding down that Siphon Blood. And then from here on, there's just this last set over here, and we got to get those guys, and then we're going to make way to the middle. In the middle of this area, there's going to be yet another set of elites, so it's going to help our progress a little bit more. But don't get hung up on this area. Everybody's so spread out, and for whatever reason, they don't want to kind of get close to you, which makes it really hard to fully utilize this build here. So we're going to be kind of tapping our Siphon Blood ability, going onto the next area here. Now there is one pylon in here in this first room. It's going to give us a little bit more damage, as well as some elites over in the corner here. Hitting those guys, grabbing the orbs, moving along. This build is really nice, casual, and relaxing. Everyone should be able to run through this and do it relatively well, unless it's your first time playing this kind of build here. But if you're interested in, if you've tried this out in the Challenge Rift and you think that this is going to be a fun build, it's also one of the highest ranking builds this season and can do a really high Greater Rift. I believe, 140s and 150s it shouldn't even struggle with. There's a little bit of an issue getting some ads, but other than that, there's no problem here. And now we're going to make our way over to the last set of elites. So they should be down and around this corner here, and I'm just trying to teleport to make my way over to them. I'd already completed this earlier, so that time you're seeing is my time. It's not the time to beat the Challenge Rift. We've got plenty of progress for this. And I believe we're going to need one more set of elites, which is up and around this corner. And as soon as they come in, it's going to be the Rift Guardian. Now, in very high Greater Rifts, you want to spawn a Rift Guardian that brings in additional enemies, spawning in little monsters. This is such a low rift that it has absolutely no problem doing it. So as soon as we get that guy killed, we're just going to make our way over to the Rift Guardian, stand still, and then hold down Siphon Blood, and it'll take it out in a few seconds there. So that was the EU version of the Challenge Rift. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our leaderboard here. I hope this was a good time for you guys. Hope this Challenge Rift was really easy. I'm going to try and do these the best I can, but sometimes I run out of time, so they might be a little bit later, but I will always upload these. Thank you. Bye.